Hello dirt movers, James with Dunsmore Moving Dirt. We're on the second work side of the second pond we got to build, and I just got the topsoil peeled and pushed packed behind where the dam's going to be. And this right here is the center of the hole. It's roughly 150-foot circle again, and like I say, all the topsoil's back behind the spoil, and the white flags are the edge of the hole. So I'm probably going to start digging that next week. I had to cut the spillway and get that all set on grade and everything. So had to do this one a little bit differently than most of the ones we do. We had to figure out how to spill it, how to knock back water up on the neighbor, and how to get the water back to where it's supposed to go before it leaves his property, and all those things you've got to do. You can't back water on somebody else. You can't put water in a different watershed when it leaves your property. It's got to go the same place out that it goes out. And this is just a little old corner right here. That's the neighbor's property to the west, and that's the neighbor's property to the south, and the drainage to fill the pond comes right through here, just right through this corner. Quite a bit of drainage, 300 acres comes through here. All of that old raw hill and stuff comes through here, so there's plenty of drainage to fill up a pond. And like I said earlier, this is a little dam. Years ago was a pond. Of course, it just silted in, and then when it did, it went to the spillway, went to washing out and going around behind the dam, so that really created more of a problem. The ditch goes on underneath the neighbor, so we had to go from what the elevation of the bottom of the creek is at the fence, and the creek gets deeper here. So if you'd let the water come in and go out the creek, you would have to move all of that dirt down to the bottom of the creek before you stood hold any ground that held water. So you can see there's quite a bit of difference in the bottom of this creek and where the tank's going to be. So you wouldn't hold any water till you got everything out there the depth of this creek. So that's not no good. And you could have, the water would have went in and come out and went on down the creek where it always has. But you don't want to move 3-4 foot of dirt before you hold water. So what we did, we went on the other side where this dam used to tie into that fence and cut a spillway the depth of the creek at the fence. It might be a 1/10 or 2 higher, just because this is probably going to wash out sometime. But so now the water will go into the tank, and then when the tank gets full, it'll start to back up and come through this little old hole. It'll probably stand a 1/2 foot of water here. And then it'll come around this spillway that I cut now, and it'll go right back into the creek where that white flag is. And then once it's in the creek, it'll go right back out his property where it's always left. Now this needs to come down a little bit more, but I don't want to shove it off down in there and block that creek until if it rains or something while I'm working. I want this water to get on out of here. But once I close this off, my dirt's going to be all the way up to the back side of these trees. He wants to try to save them trees, shade for his cattle. So once I do that, I'll fix this and I'll slope this down a little bit, but he'll have to always kind of watch and be sure this don't start washing back into the original creek up there, which sometimes they do. It may take a long time, but it won't start washing up here. It'll start washing right here, and it'll start backing up and going through here. That's what this gully over here did. So I'm going to take that dirt and push it over that away. Then there'll just be a little island here with them trees on there, and then I'll have to cut into the hole. That big tree right there, it's got to go because my dam's got to tie into the back of this dirt here. This ditch here, this little creek will be closed off. All this will be dirt. I'll clear all this brush out when I get ready to put the dirt in here. And if something happens, it rains while I'm working on it, runs water, it'll be blocked off here and the water will go out the spillway that we cut. So that's the next project, so we'll start digging on that next week and let you see some of that and see what it looks like when we get it all finished. So thank you for watching these videos. If you hadn't subscribed, we should do that and hit the like button. Enjoy the comments and questions that you have. So till next week we start digging on this, this is James with Dunsmore Moving Dirt. Remember, keep your blades shiny and your tracks clean. Bye. Okay, started digging today on the second tank, and it was dug real good all day long. Now I got into a little bit of rock just right down on this side, but it was just kind of stuck in that loose dirt. It wasn't solid rock or nothing, but overall, all what I've dug today's just been just right. I mean, not too wet, not too dry. It was rolling on the blade and everything. So anyway, we're gonna go in and come back tomorrow and dig a little bit more on it. And I'll bring my pickup tomorrow. Well, I brought my pickup, but I didn't come down here in it. Drove the Kubota down here. It had rained between 3 and 4 tenths out here today, and it was just wet enough, no use making a mess. So tomorrow I got to bring my fuel trailer, so I'll drive in here with my pickup. But everything's working pretty good so far, and it run just enough water. I was going to fill that ditch in over by them trees, but it put a little bit of water in there. But I may do it tomorrow because I need to kind of start getting that shaped up while I got some pretty good dirt. So anyway, we're going to head up there with the pickup, load up and head in. So appreciate y'all watching this channel, and if you hadn't subscribed, just go ahead and do that and hit the like button. So this is James with Dunsmore Moving Dirt. We'll let y'all see some of that tomorrow. Bye. done. We're moving dirt. We're still on the second pond site, pond number 2. Got some video of that, what we did today. It's shaping up pretty good. I'm going to try to get some more of that out in the morning if it's not raining. I went and cleaned it up a little bit. Other than that rock that I had yesterday, about halfway down, it wasn't solid. And once I got all through that, you can kind of see that little gray line around there. Once I got through that, man, that's some good stuff down there. But the way it works out, usually you got good stuff and you're running out of room to dig. So anyway, we'll dig some more of that out tomorrow. And I've got this shaping up right up here. I'll have to cut this creek out right here when I decide. Maybe tomorrow before I go in, I'll cut that out in case it rains. But all that dirt will go up here and I'll finish filling around these trees and stuff, and that's where the water will come in. And then when it gets full, it'll back up and go around, and it'll go out that spillway that we cut over there and go back into this creek here. Right there where I got that slope down. So it'll come in, then back up and go around. And instead of making it, if you was to let it come out just like it was before I filled this in, that would eventually just wash out and get deep. So at least this way, it's kind of got to back up and go around that way, then come in, and that kind of slows that water out. But it's shaping up pretty good. I like the way it's looking right now. Like I say, that's some good stuff down in there to dig. But we'll come back and dig in the morning, then start shaping that thing up and put the topsoil on it next day maybe, and this one will be through. So thank y'all again for watching this channel. If you hadn't subscribed, wish you'd do that and hit the like button and share it with all your friends. And until tomorrow we get back out here, remember, keep your blade shiny and your tracks clean. Bye.